all the homeowners we meet, like they need help, whether it's from us, based on our service or somebody else, but they need true, honest help. So that was a situation and experience that I will never forget.
Welcome back to another episode of Andy's Talk. I am Ethan Andes, and today I am joined by one of our amazing project consultants, Josh Hall. We wanted to get him on a podcast and learn more about this awesome dude that we have working with us. And man, I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate you guys having me. Been watching these since pretty much their inception. From, I think the first one I saw was you were in a room across the table, and now we got this cool set. So I'm glad I got to be here for this instead of, the awkward thing of being across the table, man. But thanks for having me.
It always evolves with the podcast. We get the sets and we move them around in different things. So like I get bored with it. So like we just keep moving them every once in a while. So
this looks awesome, man. The green light.
Yeah, you can thank Connor for this. Like he's pretty good at what he does. So as we get into this, I want you to tell me, I've got a list of questions here. Tell me your background. Like, where did you grow up?
Wow. So my dad was in the Air Force, and I was born in Arizona. I only lived there for about 2 years, and then we moved to Illinois, and then I eventually kind of planted my roots in North Carolina. So I lived there from like third grade until I graduated high school. And at that time, my dad was retiring from the military, and my mom and my dad both met in the Louisville, Southern Indiana area. So he decided to move back here once he retired because he had no reason to stay in North Carolina. And so after high school, I found that I was probably more ambitious to be somewhere like Louisville. So moved out here and pretty much have been here since 2010, 2011. And just did some schooling, found out that I like school, but I'm not really fully invested in that. Did a little bit of manual labor, and eventually got into sales. And
manual labor, tell me about that.
Yeah, so there was a brief time where I was really active and in good shape, like lifting a lot of weights and bodybuilding and doing that whole thing.
You were swole.
I was. If you look at some of my Facebook photos, you'd probably see some things that are not who I am anymore. But at that time, I was really in good shape, and I applied for Kroger distribution over there, just basically picking boxes, taking orders for the stores. And I did that for about 5.5 years, and it just burned me out. They were making us work 12-hour days, just long hour days. And so once I kind of got really burnt out from that, the guy that I would go to work out with at the gym got me a job at GNC, and I worked there for maybe about 6 months to a year, and then he started working at a roofing company, and he thought I'd be a good fit, and that's kind of what got me started into the industry.
Was that Riyadh?
No, it was a good friend of mine. He actually lives in Florida now. His name is Brian.
He doesn't need a job, does he?
No, I don't think so. He would be a good candidate for this place, though. I mean, he knows his roofing. I mean, one of the reasons that I got into roofing was because of him, but the reason I feel like I stayed in and really became passionate was because of Josh Overmeyer.
Yeah.
He made this job, the industry, feel like, if you care for the industry, it'll care and love you back. And just his personality and his way of just making people feel really kind of got me more involved with what we do. And so there was a few points in my career where I swayed out of roofing because it was stressful. And, he was able to kind of ring me back in, get my mindset right, and just put me where I was. And then now Riyadh has really taken a big step in that role for me, with still loving the industry and really giving the best to the homeowners. And also, he does a great job just practicing what he preaches. So, I mean, if you ever met Riyadh or go out with him, I there's times where I'll go to a job and I'm like, there's no way I'll find myself up there on that steep roof. And Riyadh has already got his stuff ready to go, and he's halfway up.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. So, I mean, his tenacity and just wanting to help really helped me make the decision to come over here and, be a part of this group. So it's everybody that I've met in this industry has been supportive, and the people that I've really honed in on and gained a lot of respect for, I still talk to this day. So it's just really cool how where I was with the manual labor to where I am now. My body's not broken down, and I'm like enjoying life a lot more. So it's a good time.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I've been fortunate. A lot of the people that you're talking about have come through Andy's Roofing. So Josh Overmeyer was our old sales manager, and he was really good friends with Riyadh. And then something happened to Josh. He had to move back to Ohio. He had a family member pass. And so Riyadh stepped in with us to be the sales manager. And then through all of that, I can't remember the timeline. You weren't here before Riyadh was a sales manager, were you?
No. So right around when Josh O'Meara came over, he was talking to me. He's like, "Hey man, I really want to work with you. I really want to work with you." And we've talked for years about that. Just how we just got along so well, and I was pretty happy where I was. So I was like, "Man, I love it, but I'm still happy." So when my son was born in December of last year, I took some paternity leave, and we had to be in the NICU for around 9 days. And so and we did it over in Clark. We had our son in Clark Memorial. So every day that I went to see him, I'm seeing your face on the billboard. And at the time, I was just in a funk of just my career, my path, just what can I do to provide the best for my family. And so I saw your billboard every day. I'm like, is this a sign from God, or is this just
It was a sign.
something that just kind of pulled on me to reach out? So the first person I called was Josh Overmeyer because I trusted him a lot, and then I reached out to Riyadh, and I think it was like December 17th, like right around Christmas time, and I reached out to him, and he was like, "Yeah, if you want to come in for an interview, you can meet with me and Kevin, and we can see if you'd be a good fit." I met with him and Kevin. It's either Christmas Eve or the day before Christmas Eve. I remember no one was in the office, and I came up to the office, and I was like, "Wow, it's a ghost town up here." And did my interview and really got to know Kevin and, understanding what he was looking in for, a hire. And, they called me back, and we got set up on, getting on board. And it's just been an awesome journey since the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, so you got some industry experience outside of Andy's Roofing. Can you talk about the difference?
Yeah, I mean, I would say to me the biggest difference is the support that we get here, whether it's Deb in the office or Riyadh or Kevin and Daniel stepping in, all the production side of people. They do a great job just keeping me focused on helping customers and getting, jobs turned in. And they do a great job handling a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. So that's a big thing for me. I think with how you hire and how Kevin hires, I feel like it's just the culture really helps bring people in and make you feel like you're at a job, but you're a part of a family here. And so that's probably the biggest difference that I can notice just first day. Other things are smaller, like our site supervisors, that sort of thing. That was kind of a new adaptation to what I'm not really used to. But yeah, as far as differences, it's still the same industry. It's just me making sure that I explain to the homeowners what to expect.
Yeah.
Good and bad.
Absolutely.
I'm not afraid to talk about the bad stuff sometimes because, it could happen.
So are you married?
Yeah. Yes. Been married for 10 years.
Wow. Congrats.
Yeah.
That's pretty solid.
Thank you. We got 2 kids, and Mary is 2.5, and our son Cecil is 8 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
How's that going?
It's been pretty good. Right now, Mary's in a little bit of a phase where she's learning a lot of new stuff, and she is starting to use words like shut up. and mom and dad are kind of like,
Where'd she learn those?
I don't know. My guess is we have 2 German Shepherd dogs.
Yes.
They can get a little out of hand. Mm-hmm. So every once in a while I may have, said, shut up. Don't say that, Mary. But, I even sat her down. I was like, Daddy's not going to say that anymore, I promise. And so she still says it. And, mom's disciplinary on that for us at this time. But yeah, they're great. CJ is, so when my wife was 13 weeks pregnant, we did a genetics testing, and we found out that he was going to be have Down syndrome. So in that time of waiting and anticipating, we had a lot of moments of up and down, but once he was born healthy. All this everything came out that he was Down syndrome, but healthy baby, nothing really alarming to worry about. And so like that has been a great experience for me as well, to just be his father and be there for him and just kind of help him through, this life that we're going to be living. So that was it was kind of a hurtful moment at like briefly. And then from then on was like, you know what, we're going to love this kid and he's going to be a part of a great family. And so I'm proud of it. Honestly, it's such a cool thing that I've been gifted.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty cool. That's something I didn't know about you, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was, it's recent, and I share it with some of my customers. I bring it up, and it's so crazy how many people have somebody in their family or somebody in their direct community that they know that has had Down syndrome, and telling me about their lives, how they're in their 40s and their 50s, because as a kid growing up, I was always kind of this. You never know, because back in the day when technology was what it was, it wasn't as advanced as it is now. So now that I had, I've been given the opportunity to be his father, I'm like, well, as long as, we're in a good time, I feel like that, we have the resources, we have people that can support us, and it's not shameful for me. And, and people absolutely. That, live like that, it's kind of like, well, you have a kid, and he's healthy and love him. But I'm just really glad that, he was healthy and that we were able to bring him home, and he's just growing and developing just like Mary was. So I think he might be going a little bit quicker because he has her to look at and kind of emulate and say, I want to do what she's doing. So he's kicking her around and just wanting to try to follow her. And it's just such a cool experience.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Well, hey, let me make sure I get a lot of these things.
Oh yeah, I'm chatting.
No, yeah, that's good. That makes podcasts even better than just a list of questions and stuff. But where'd you go to school at?
So I again was from North Carolina. So we lived in a really small town, kind of similar to Sellersburg.
Yeah.
It was called Harnett Central High School, and it was just in the middle of nowhere. Not really much going on. Now, when I went back 2 years ago, that town has grown. They're like a big, they got a lot of hospitals and medical schools around now. So it's becoming bigger than what it was when I lived there. But growing up there, there was not a lot to do. And so I could tell you more, but there's just not a lot to talk about. It's just a little town, man.
What do you think about Louisville?
Where I live, I feel really comfortable. So the city itself, I think, is really cool because it's just a melting pot of people. Being in Indiana and like meeting all the people in Indiana and getting to experience, getting to know them, it is a different experience and type of person, I feel like. What's the expression like? Heard people talk about Indiana as the sunny side of Louisville or something like that. I've heard
in Indiana.
Yeah, I've heard a few people make that comment, and it's different. I've basically been my territory since I've been in the industry has been mostly Louisville. So getting to come over here and get a whole new breath of fresh air, it's really cool. I was always skeptical about having to drive over a bridge every day, but now that I do it, I'm like, maybe I should try to move over to this side of the bridge now and, take advantage of your all's. You guys got better taxes over here, don't you? I think it's a little better.
A little bit better, yeah. So our square footage price in Southern Indiana keeps creeping up, but it's still not near as bad as the east end of Louisville. Yeah. So there's a lot of people, even that I know, over in the east end of Louisville that are moving to Georgetown and Lanesville because just you get more house for what you pay. And, property taxes, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, and then you don't have to also worry about all the municipality taxes too.
Oh, yeah, my CPA loves that about the business side of it, for sure. Every little part wants their little piece, and, it makes life very interesting.
Yeah. So my dream or goal, like now that I've got kids and I'm starting to see, I've been a homeowner for 8 years now. So I'm starting to understand, like, when you buy an older home, there's some work you need to do to it. And it's like, it doesn't end. It just keeps, like, you fix one thing, the next year something else is a problem, or you see something that you didn't notice before. And it's like,
Yeah.
So the goal would eventually be to try to move over here, because I think that, with schooling and just, again, the people that I've met, I feel at home. And, just try to maybe plant my roots here.
I know a good realtor.
Oh, really? Oh, you might have to get me in touch with him.
There you go.
I think he has a billboard I probably passed by once or twice.
Yeah, so I'm getting that billboard back, actually. I gave that to Will, and then he went on it, and now it's renewing in October, and I'm taking it back.
What are you going to put up there?
Oh, man, I can't tell you.
It's a surprise.
Secret.
Stay tuned.
We got good stuff coming for that one.
And that's on the way into Louisville.
Do you remember the billboard I did about this is Matt, he sucks at
No, I didn't see that one, but I heard about it, and it was something about fishing, right?
Yeah.
Is that you put your buddy's face on it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Just make sure that you don't put anything embarrassing about me on there.
That's the next level of trash talk is when you do.
Yeah, when you have a billboard and your face is on there.
Yeah.
And how many billboards do we have?
I don't know.
My question for you. So now we have. Go ahead.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we have 6 right now. I don't really know.
We have the 65. We have 2 on the 65, because I know there's one right there by the hospital, and then going into like not Scottsburg, Salem area.
Past Scottsburg. Yep.
There. And then the one
I think it's 6. I could be wrong, because we have the one in Sellersburg. Right? When you come to Sellersburg.
Oh, the home of
East Roofing.
Oh, okay, that counts as one too?
Well, yeah.
I just thought that was
And
just
if we
like.
count the one on the building site where we're building a new building,
That's 7?
My brother built that because, my dad let
Will?
him do that. I bought that land from my dad. And so Will built this massive OSB or plywood thing, and he had his face on it. And then when I bought the lot, I was like, bro, you got to go. But
Yeah, it's like a giant, it's like, is it like 2x4s on the ends?
Yeah.
And then it's like a giant, okay, yeah.
So we made a canvas sign and put it on there that was like future home of Andy's roofing, pardon our mess. And
Really?
It's got all of us like with a shovel.
Huh. I didn't, I the 3 billboards that I always know about, the Salem one, the 65 one, and then the one as soon as you get on 265
Yeah.
going towards New Albany.
Yeah.
And I'm like, gosh.
We got more to come. Braden, he just gave me part of his marketing plan for 2026 the other day. He pitched it to me, Kevin, and Isaac, and it was significant.
Really?
And, yeah. So
more billboards.
we got
more advertising.
more of everything.
More in your face, Andy's green.
Yes.
And
more.
pink.
Yeah, I think we're up to 28 wrap trucks now too.
Dude, I've been seeing a lot more trucks. You even got your brother in a wrap truck. That was quick.
First day.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Can you imagine? Like, he comes in, like, my brother doesn't know about the company, and I've been telling him stuff through the years, and he's been helping me behind the scenes. But it's like, bro, when you get to experience, like, we drop off. Like, I met him at the wrap place, and then I dropped him off at the wrap place at the end of the day, and his truck was done. I was like,
is that his personal car, or is that part of the fleet?
I bought it.
You did?
Yeah.
I was wondering, because I was like, this is probably just because he's, our financial, you say the title because you
finance manager.
So I was like, it's not a Chevy, it's not a Toyota. He must have just took his personal car and just said, "We wrapping that baby."
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it had low miles, and it's a Honda. Ridgeline.
Yeah.
So they have pretty good. Longevity, gas mileage, all that stuff. So
Yeah.
we just put him in that, and he drives it back home, and we gave him a check. So it was great.
It's exposure, man.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I haven't seen that truck. Who's that guy?
Yeah, man. It's been a long road to get to where we are right now. And I just talked to him earlier today over at the other office, and like, dude, we have so many things that are coming that are going to be like next level.
I'm excited.
Dude, imagine when we have, like, I want to get those nice plastic picnic tables and put them at the new office to where people can eat lunch outside. Like, just stuff like that. I want to put a basketball goal on the right side of the office. That way, like, we can play pickup basketball.
I'm glad you're saying that, because there are times where I'm at a home with an elderly couple, and we're talking about the deposit, and I'm like, hey, if you do end up coming to the office, just if you want to call the office, let them know there's a steep stairwell.
Yeah.
You got to go up these steep stairwells. So if you want to have someone come down to meet you, we can work that out. So I'm like super excited that I don't have to make that a part of my pitch. Like, hey, by the way, you come by.
We orchestrated everything with the org chart and then the employees to where, like, when people come in, like, we don't got to go all the way through the building to try and find Tiffany like we do now.
Yeah.
It's like Hannah's right there. Like, she's the first person that they meet when they come in the door.
Oh, that's going to be sweet.
Yeah, dude. And then I'm getting the biggest industrial refrigerator I can get. It's going to be sick. It's gonna be
stockpiled
really
with
absolutely.
Gatorade, like sodas and candy bars and that sort of thing.
Yeah. So when you guys come in, like, I've got workstations on the walls in different areas that have charging things. So you can just come in and crash and, like, work on your iPads and whatever, and then just take off again.
Garrett and I were talking about that yesterday, and sorry to Sammy, we use your desk every once in a while because it's available and your chair is super comfortable.
He almost lost his desk.
Really?
Yeah, because we had Andy, so it was like
and then they put Andy right there behind Daniel and moved we kept the refrigerator there, but we moved the coffee
maker, all that stuff had to move.
Yeah.
So this is for, like, I remember I told it at the company meeting, but, like, I grew up in Kevin's office.
Yeah.
Like, I homeschooled in that room. And then we did 2 years of Spanish. And so, like, where Tiffany's desk was, there was another little desk, and I did 2 years of Spanish. So we would go in the other room and do Spanish.
Really?
Oh, yeah, dude.
You and your brothers too? Like,
me and Will.
Okay.
Yeah, my older brother, he was already past it. He's 5 years older than me.
Okay, so you and Will were
pretty close.
Homeschooling in the office now.
Yeah.
And now you're, like, pretty much saying,
yeah. So it was back before dual credits were, like, where you could do them in the class or whatever. So, like, I would leave when I was 16 and I'd go half day to Ivy Tech. And so, like, I was in college with these people. And at that time, it was like this big boom for people to go back to college. So, like, everybody in the class is 35 to 45. And the professor's like, yeah, we have this little scrub over here, Ethan. Like, he's, young enough to be your all son.
Homeschool.
And then, like, you guys. And so, I mean, about every class, they would point me out and be like, this scrub over here.
I'm going to ask you a question. What was that like? Because my wife has talked to me about wanting to get into homeschooling for our kids.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, I think that you'd be able to do it. But as a kid growing up in homeschool, what was that like?
So my experience with homeschool is the way homeschool should be, in my opinion. Okay, so disclaimer there.
Disclaimer.
Like, my mom is a very intelligent person. Like, right now she runs a charter school or a cottage school, if you would call it that. But she builds the curriculums for 1st through 8th grade on, like, homeschooling for dummies level. Like, you pick up the day, and it's like day 27, and it'll say in there, read this book, pages 23 to 24, expound on this paragraph in this way.
Wow.
Like, it really is homeschooling for dummies. But, I mean, there's different ones. There's a Becca, there's Bob Jones, there's different programs that you can do that have videos and different aids and learning stuff and all that. Mm-hmm. My mom taught. Like, literally got up and taught us every day. It was crazy. So we would leave the house at 8 a.m. and we would get to the office there at 8:30. We would go up there. We started at 8:30 every morning. She would read Proverbs with us. So we read a proverb every single day because there's 31 Proverbs. So
one a month.
For years.
Or
I think it was 7 years there that, like, we read, like, I can almost recite them all.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow.
So the Bible says, thy word have I hid in my heart that I might not sin against God. So I can tell you Proverbs off the top of my head, like that stuff, because of how many years that was ingrained in me. Wow. Yeah, dude, it's cool.
And then, like, the rest of the day was like,
we left it,
history.
I think 3:30 every day.
So you had to, like, other than getting
these were classes,
getting on and off a school bus is the only thing you really didn't.
Yeah, we had to, like, drive home. Like, it was.
And mom's your teacher, and then now she's mom at home.
Yeah, it was. I would say that is the biggest disconnect with homeschooling is that you can't really turn it off. Yeah. So, like, my mom she was tough. You know, she was the principal that taught.
Yeah. So she was like,
Yeah.
if you did something bad that night, you're going to like maybe.
Well, my dad is downstairs in his office.
So he was like,
Daniel, come up here and beat these kids.
okay. So if you got out of line, then mom's calling dad upstairs.
Yeah, the real principal shows up and then it's just,
dang.
Yeah, dude, it was tough.
That, like, I've talked to some homeowners that they've homeschooled their kids, and they've told me that, like, homeschooling now with the curriculum, I'm fully on board with that because I'm sure that if you homeschool and you're just willy nilly, then who knows? But they mentioned that you can, like, it has you have the ability to kind of go outside and like take field trips, go to Europe, and that's all part of like a curriculum. So
I don't know. Maybe that's an advanced curriculum. I didn't get to go through that.
I went
to the dungeon. You know,
it was eye opening to me because I always thought homeschool. You're in your house. You know, your mom or your dad is your teacher, and you're pretty much solitary confinement. But when they told me about that, I'm like,
yeah,
that gives me an interesting.
So there's something spiritual about going to a place. And like that's what churches are. They're a place that they think that like God is in a church. Well, God is in his people. And so like that would mean when you leave with God. So you don't have to go to church. But at the same time, the Bible says, forsake not the assembling of yourselves together. Okay, so if we take that concept and we say we're going to be homeschooled and we do not separate the fact that I can walk upstairs and go to the fridge versus like I am in school. Okay.
Yeah.
Then you are committing child abuse, in my opinion, because that child is not getting as good or better of a level of education as they could have gotten in public school. So you are hurting that child's chances for success in life.
That checks out.
Yeah, I'm very passionate about it. It's just like, hey, look, you want to homeschool? Can you give education as good or better than the high
teacher?
schools?
Yeah.
You know, so I would say that my education personally, because of my mom's involvement, like my parents were very, very passionate about education and giving us the best shot at life, is like I was privately educated. I was not homeschooled.
That's a whole new way of spinning it.
Yeah, there was this like really wealthy person that was like, yeah, I privately educate my children. And I was like, you're saying the same thing, but like even saying it sounds like more of an experience. Like you're getting a better education.
Yeah.
And so my parents were so passionate about education. Like, dude, I got farmed out to every brother in the church that had like trades. Like I've hung drywall, painted. I mean, everything you
got your hands dirty.
Oh yeah. Did tile, all that kind of stuff. And my dad's rationale was, he's like, well, this is exposure to know what you do or what you don't want to do in life.
Yeah. I'll take that. That's true.
It was pretty sweet, you know, but my dad was also the guy that every time he fixed a washer, like he'd be like, hold that light for me, Ethan. And I'd look, and then I'd like start to like look off and he'd be like, shine the light back over here.
Yeah.
You know,
Quit getting distracted, boy.
Oh yeah, dude. We changed our own oil, changed our own brakes. Like I knew how to do all that kind of stuff. So it's like, now I got my kid coming up and I'm like, man, what am I going to teach him? You know? Like, do they need to know all those things? You know, like my dad taught me.
Yeah. Like I should definitely do this because, you know, for the generational aspect of it. But then it's also like,
my little kid's 4. You know?
Yeah. And then just like, you know, go get an oil change, get a good job and take it somewhere to get it changed.
Yeah. Like little stuff though that you hire a plumber for, but like the trap underneath your sink, like my dad's like, we are not hiring a plumber. Like we're just going to go unscrew these 2 little things and we're going to clean the trap out in the sink.
Yeah. There are certain things that's like, hey, let's not spend money. I was foolish. I'm kind of ashamed to even mention this. I had a toilet that was, I guess it was clogged. So anyway, apparently moving a toilet is not that hard. Like just moving a toilet from where it's at, I assumed it was difficult. So this plumber came out, and in order to get the clog, he had to use a big snake, but he had to get the toilet off. And so he charged me like $300 to move the toilet. And then after I watched him do it, I'm like, are you serious, man?
Hey, man, I will tell you though, like he pulled the bolt,
just unscrewed the bolts, and then I think he took the top off, and then, you know, he may have just picked it all up and moved it over in one like fell swoop. But I'm just like, I could have done that myself.
So I will tell you though, unless you didn't do it right when you put it back, is there's a wax seal underneath of there.
Yep.
And experience is telling you right now that knowing to put that back and how to put it back in a certain way is everything.
Well, then because
I've seen it where it didn't work right.
I can't remember. I think he ended up replacing the wax because as soon as he got it off, I was like, hey man, can you just go ahead and get it unclogged and then fix that.
Yeah.
But I felt so foolish that like, I was raised.
Oh man, that was experience. Like,
Yeah,
he was doing.
And I was luckily at a place where it's like that's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Like if I was in a place where I'm really hurting, I would have been like, gosh, I can't believe that I did that, and I really feel dumb now because I could have used that somewhere else.
Right.
But the toilet got unclogged. He put it all back together, and I was happy with it. But looking back, I'm like, YouTube should have YouTubed it.
Yeah, but some of those things, man, like that wax seal, like I watched tens of thousands of dollars in water damage in somebody's like first floor, and they had their basement.
Yeah.
And like they didn't know because it was behind something.
Just because
they
were
leaked over time because they were messing with it. And
Yeah.
like
I don't mess with electric and I don't mess with plumbing. Like those are two things.
Yeah.
I can unclog like with a plunger. I can do that, P-trap, stuff like that. But anything other than that, I'm hiring somebody. I'm calling somebody out.
I met a guy the other day, and he's like he's like the head of the electrical part at Prosser, and like he's shown me how he teaches with all these different electrical boards and stuff, and I'm like, dude, I would zap myself within 2 seconds on this stuff.
Yeah. Like I feel great just getting on a roof. Like that's the riskiest part of my day is being on a roof. But messing with electric, no. You can show me all the books on how to figure it out, but I don't want to get zapped. Like not one bit.
I can't remember who it was. It might have been one of us, but I heard the story. Somebody told me the story, so it might have been me. But it was like the kid put a key in the light socket.
Yeah.
And like they asked him because he starts crying, and he was like, well, what's the matter? And there's like, what happened? And they're like, did you shock yourself? He goes, no. And they're like, what did you do? And he goes,
he's shaking.
He didn't know what it was. He couldn't explain electricity.
But all he did was
just
his
like
motion. Wow.
Oh man.
This is funny. The electric we're talking about. So I was meeting with Lester earlier, and got on the subject of getting struck by lightning, and he was talking about like how because he's a horse trainer.
Yeah.
So he's outside all the time, and apparently, he's had a few lightning storms in his life, Texas and then Hawaii. And he was telling me that there's a certain pose if your hair starts to stand up, like if you're in a lightning storm and your hair starts to stand up like a staticky thing, he said to kind of put your feet, like the balls of your heels up, and then take your arms and put them at the top of your head and interlock, or I can't really do it sitting down, but basically just getting kind of like a fetal position, but having your feet up. And he said that the current will travel through, because your elbow and your knee into your shoe, it'll go through. Because he told me that somebody he knew got struck by lightning, and it came in from over here and went out of his leg. Yeah, big storm last night. We just started talking about lightning. He had a lightning arrest system on his house, and he's like, "Yeah, this house got struck by lightning twice." And then it went into the whole, "Hey, if you ever feel like your hair's getting staticky, do this."
Why wouldn't you just like fall down on the ground, like lay flat?
He said that something about your heart and the moisture on the ground. So he was just saying, if you do that, then you may be more of a conductor. Yeah. So he was talking about how you want to make sure that the current travels. I'm like, dude, I don't even want to be in
I
a
just
lightning
want to be
storm.
below the horse. Like,
Yeah.
get below the horse.
I don't even know. I mean, I know how we got on that conversation, but like when he started telling me all this stuff, I was like, you're preparing me for a worst case scenario.
This is like MacGyver over here. Like this guy's got it figured out.
Yeah. And the fact that he said he's seen like, several people be struck by lightning.
What?
Yeah, he was saying he was doing a training at one time, and I guess somebody was just sitting on like the fence and dropped dead. I'm like, dude, that's crazy. And he says it just stops your heart. I was asking him some like, serious questions about details, and he's like, nope, just stops your heart and just fall over. I'm like, I don't want to be in that situation at all. Like lightning.
That's not cool.
Yeah. Like, man, no, that's just terrifying. But now everybody knows how to properly take care of themselves. And if that doesn't work, then don't come looking for me.
Yeah. I mean, if nothing else, you guys have learned,
Yeah. Don't come looking for us if that plan.
Possibly stop yourself from getting struck by lightning.
Yeah. Now, I think he said you still get struck, but
You want to fact check that? Like, do you want to go try it and see?
I mean, if that's something we can do for some marketing material, maybe. Yeah, let's try it out.
It's like we get it on the video because it may only work once.
It worked in the Back to the Future, how they got that electric thing to work. Maybe we can kind of set that up.
Yeah, that's that. Was it Isaac Newton or who was it that held on to the key with the kite way up in the air?
Benjamin Franklin?
Thomas Edison?
Thomas Jefferson. No, Edison. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we sound like idiots.
So I find that
Edison.
hard to believe that he held on. Like, I don't think that story's true.
Yeah, some history. I want to fact check too.
I mean, if we got 440 running down a kite line and then getting rid of that, like, it's going to blow your arm off.
I don't, you hear that story all the time growing up and you're like, oh, it's got to be true. That's crazy. Back then this is what they did. But yeah, now that I think about it a little bit, like, he should be dead. How was he? My bad. How was he able to, get struck by lightning and then go off and be like, oh, light bulb?
Yeah.
How?
I mean, I'd love to fact check that one, but it'd be really hard.
Yeah, you would have a bunch of people coming on and saying, hey, don't even try. Like, this has been proven.
Yeah, it's one of those things you may not do again.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't even. I don't even. I like watching storms, but being out in it, like last night I left my last appointment when it was really coming down and I got drenched. And it was like a 30-minute drive home and I was just soaking wet. I talked to my wife the whole way home. I'm like, I'm not going to be in a good mood until I get out of these wet clothes.
Yeah.
Like, I am not.
Yeah, man, you feel cold. Like, it's like clammy and then you have a chill.
Yeah.
Like, it's like for hours. Like, you got to almost get in the shower and just be like.
It's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
I was like, this is just uncomfortable because it's just, and it was like that hard, fast rain too. So there was no forgiveness.
Dude, tell me a crazy story about like a roof situation. Like, I know you got some. I got some crazy ones.
Well, I mean,
I fell through a roof one time.
I have not fallen through a roof. I've fallen through an attic access. I was trying to pull myself up and I thought my knee was going to be supported by the framing of the opening, but it was drywall. So when I put my knee down to go on the framing part, my knee went straight through the drywall. So I ended up vacuuming up the mess that I made. Never heard back from the guy. Like, we never did anything with him. Gosh, man, there's so many experiences. I was in the west end of Louisville quite a bit in my career. Bullets and roofs, like, there's not just there only, but there's a lot more that I've found there. That was probably some of the most interesting things, like just walking a roof, just kind of inspecting it for the homeowner, and then coming down and saying, hey, not to worry you or scare you, but there's a 9mm in your roof, so you might want to keep an eye on this, or every time 4th of July comes around or New Year's, you may want to call us back out for an inspection because that's when they like to shoot guns off in the air.
Yeah. Well, Memorial Day, July 4th.
Oh yeah, Memorial Day is another one.
New Year's. Yeah.
Yeah,
we were down on, I think it was like a Dollar General or Family Dollar or something down there in the West End, and we fixed like 6 bullet holes, and then we found like 3 or 4 more that were stuck in the shingle portion. And it was like, this is normal.
I went on a church lead. It was a church, and the guy literally was like, hey, man, we need a roof because every January 1st, I think I saw like 10 or 11 bullets. It's a massive church, but it's like, man, just aim towards the ground, people. Put it in the ground.
What goes up must come down. Yeah, no, we did a church roof down there in the West End, and it may have been the one that you bid, but
who knows?
Beat you. But.
Yeah, maybe. And if you did, good for you, man.
No, but there was a house right behind the church, and we were out there, and this chick, I think she was either outside. She kept coming and going, and then this car pulls up
into the house in the back, like not. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. It's like right beyond the church. So this chick goes inside and like she just runs inside. This guy gets out, goes out to his trunk, grabs I think it was an AK-47. It wasn't an AR-15.
This is during your inspection?
No, dude, we're doing the roof.
This is during
I've got roofers up on the roof. We've got traffic cones, everything.
Wow.
And this guy goes in there and like pulls her out and starts beating on her.
What?
And we're over here like, what do we do?
Yeah.
So they called the cops, but it happened like really fast. And then the guy, I guess, drove off. But I mean, like,
wow,
what do you do in that situation? And we were on 32nd or 34th Street. We did a 2-story roof and our crews got shot at. Yeah,
like
up
just
on the roof.
blatantly, like
Yeah,
like,
people would just,
or they
came by and were
purposely did
shooting
it.
up. Yeah,
What?
Yeah.
Man, like
it's wild down
luckily, yeah. Whenever I've been to the West End, like all the people that I met have been just some of the most down to earth people.
Oh yeah,
And so, yeah, obviously stuff like that happens, and it's like it's kind of the world we live in these days. But that is a crazy story. The first one really crazy. It's like I'm witnessing domestic violence right now, and we got a roof install. I'm trying to make sure it goes well.
Dude,
and
my production manager at that time, he was like, we didn't know what to do. Like we had everybody like take the ladders around the other side and get down, and we were like,
yeah,
this is crazy.
Yeah.
Because it was a drug house. Like the girl kept coming and going. She was taking drugs to do whatever they do.
Yeah.
You know,
That's sad. But, hopefully it all worked out and she's okay now.
I don't know.
Who knows? Yeah.
I didn't stop in.
Yeah. Did the roof get finished over there at the church?
Well, with my luck, they would take a picture and I'd be in the news like, local business owner at a drug house. Like, come on, guys.
Yep.
No.
There was a drug house behind this church, and local roofer was putting the roof on, and who knows if he actually went there or not.
Yeah. It would be blackmail for sure.
Yeah.
No.
Someone would come back.
You got any other crazy stories?
Oh, man, I'm sure. Let me rack my brain for a second. Tell me about when you fell through the roof while I think about that.
Okay, so real talk. I'm FaceTiming the owner. They're at work. Okay, he had two skylights. It was it's like an engineer or whoever built the home, and so it was a shed style. It was two shed styles. So it was this one, and then they do all the windows on like a flat part right here, and then the shed up here.
Yeah.
Okay, so the lower part had two skylights in it, and both of them like low pitch, all rotted around it, like all the decking is screwed.
Yeah.
And so we're taking off the shingles, and he only wanted the lower portion done. And
Is
it was
this
back
during install? Like this is you already priced it.
We didn't know. I couldn't get up to the attic because he had just re-drywalled the whole under part. Okay.
So you had no idea what you were getting
No
into.
idea, dude. So
Oh,
we
my.
climb up there, and I'm like, hey, it's kind of soft, but I didn't know how soft. So we took the shingles off and the underlayment and everything. And I'm FaceTiming the guy, and I'm letting him know that there's a bunch of wood damage. Okay, so I'm like, yeah, there's a bunch of wood damage. And I can see it's all around the skylight. But I get up close, and I'm just like, I put my foot out, and I'm like, I'm showing him with my foot. As soon as I flip my phone back around, dude, like the floor gives out. And the rafters, I think they were 24-inch on center. They weren't 16 or 18 because
you were not
I wouldn't
supported.
have made it. But, dude, I fell through both of them, and my leg is over this one. My arms are over this one. I'm still FaceTiming the guy. Dude, if it would have been an Oscar. Okay?
Wow.
Like, I never ended the call, bro.
You just were like, I'm staying on the phone.
I promise you,
Reflex.
I'm laying through this dude's roof, and I'm like, oh, yeah, like, I fell all the way over.
Remember that wood I was telling you about?
Okay, no, and the guy's just like, oh, what happened? I was like, oh, no, it's nothing. It's nothing. Oh, the crew needs me. I gotta go. And the crew stand there, and they're like,
Mr. Ethan, are you okay?
and so like, I take and I climb back out of this dude's roof, and I look down, and some of like the little stuff had fallen through onto the new drywall, but it never punched through. So like, luckily I had like, I think it was like 4 feet.
So you fell through the decking, but you didn't hit the insulation or anything.
Dude,
You were able to
my
grab
back,
the
I was holding on to the one rafter, and I'm FaceTiming this dude like this.
Yeah, like, hey, man, you got to check out this angle that I'm at. Wow.
Yeah. So I climbed back out, but real talk, man, it hurt me pretty bad. And it was like adrenaline, like shock.
Yeah.
And then I got down, and then later on I looked, and I had the rafter mark all down the side right here. I had this massive bruise. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But dude, FaceTime him the whole time. And like, I don't think I ever told him that I fell through his roof. Like, it was just like, everything worked out fine. We got it fixed and all that. But it was like, that could have been bad.
Nothing that crazy has happened to me. I think the craziest thing that I've ever seen, this was an appointment I ran, and the guy was wanting a new roof. And actually, there's two. I've got two.
It's coming
really good
back
ones.
to you.
Yeah. Just odd experiences. So this guy had really cool guy. I mean, I got to know him. He was really, normal person. So anyway, he had like a bunch of vegetation in his front yard, and this was like a suburb neighborhood. So it's like a bunch of, normal houses all built pretty much the same. And then this one just standing out. It's got like vegetation. And he talks to me about all these fruits that he's growing, backyard, front yard. You can't see grass. It's literally front yard and backyard. So when I pull up, the first thing I do is I look at his roof, and I'm trying to think of a neighborhood that I can use as a Cobbler's Crossing. So a house kind of like that, like a nicer house, well built, brick, and he had put roofer's tar on the entire roof.
No.
Literally the entire roof.
Like Flex Seal?
Yeah, but it was tar. Like, your commercial tar?
Yeah.
He literally, and he was telling me, he's like, yeah, man, I did that to prevent leaks. And I was like, yeah, you can do this to prevent leaks, but generally you want to just contain it to an area that you're leaking, not. So he was like, yeah, I just need a price on this roof. I need a price on this roof. And everything was going through my mind. How am I going to get the crew to even put ladders around the house because of all the vegetation? And then what is that tear off going to look like? Because like all that sealant is going to cause those shingles to basically stick.
Right.
So it's going to be just a bunch of itty bitty pieces getting ripped off his roof, or it might just be one solid piece. But I imagine
you'd almost have to take like a skill saw and score it like everywhere.
Yeah. And that was the most bizarre thing I think I've ever saw at that time, because I was just like, how am I supposed to help this guy? Like, and if I did help him, what's going to stop him from going up there again and putting more tar? Like, I don't want to see seams in my roof, so I'm going to just throw tar all over it. It was like a 40-something square roof, too.
Whoa.
It wasn't small. It was pretty big, and it had pitches.
So how'd that work out?
I never talked to him after that. Like, I told him, hey, man, this is what I can do, and, this is a tricky situation, and I can't remember if he was very particular. I think it was his timeline. It just didn't match up with, we came out that day, and he was like, oh, I'm thinking about doing it, so far into the future. And I'm like, well, if this is what you've got, then I would tell you to maybe do something sooner.
Yeah.
But
so for your knowledge, any of that roofer's tar or like asphalt-based stuff, it has no UV stabilizers in it. So like when the sun hits it, it's just going to dry it out.
And crack it.
And that's why the asphalt and shingles has to have the granules over it, because it'll dry it out. That's what the granules are for, is they protect the asphalt, from the sun.
I knew that part. I didn't even connect the asphalt tar is just, if you put it on the roof,
It's going to dry out.
yeah, and then crack.
Yeah.
And I did notice that there was a bunch of cracks in his roof too. I think he made a comment to me, I might put another coat on there. Like, okay, bud, you do that. And then whenever it's time to tear that off, it's like a 6-layer roof tear off instead of a 1.
See, the issue with that is aesthetically, like it kind of looks stupid, but it probably works for a while.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't wrong.
No.
But
The aesthetic, yeah. That's what I was really hitting on. I was like, man, the fact that you did this on the whole roof, more like,
you need to get YouTube University and just do your own roof. Like you got it going on.
Kind of bowed to him a little bit, like, dude, like that's a lot of work that you did on your own, and like that took like persistence. That's not just I'm gonna patch this one job and oops, I got a little out of the hand. I'm gonna make it look good. Like, no, I'm gonna do the whole thing. Like that is, you either did a lot of research or you just thought, I'm just going to put asphalt all over my roof.
One of those that seemed like a good idea at the time kind of things.
Yeah. Based on my
a long time.
interaction with this guy. Yeah. That was probably what was going through his mind. And then the second eye-opening experience, I think it's really just the really cool part about our job is that, we go into people's homes and we really get to see how they live. And I'm not a judgmental guy at any level. So like, how people live, my main focus when I get invited to a home is what can I do to fix your problem?
Right.
Roofing related, gutter related. The situation that I'm going to bring up was tricky because he had a lot of issues. I think he was a little out there mentally, like he didn't have all of his, just wasn't all there. And so I was trying to be as patient and work with him as I could. And the story that he was telling me, I was like, I believe you. I want to believe you. I want to say that that's true. But, if that doesn't work out, then what's plan B? Because he was talking about grants and things like that. So his house was in dilapidated shape, like really bad. But what was eye-opening to me was he invited me inside. And we're in I think it's rural. It's like Taylorsville, Shelbyville, somewhere in that, like just a rural area. And he's in like just this wooded area. Like his house is literally covered by trees. there's a bunch of cats like just roaming around, like just feral cats and just cats, right? So I'm like, well, that's weird. You know, like we're in the country and I'm not used to seeing this many cats. So he invites me inside because he's like, I'm going to show you this leak. And literally there was a mound of cat litter, like this tall.
No.
This wide, inside of his house, like in like his living room, just a big old mound of cat litter. And I'm just like, I looked over at it at first. And I was like, that's
Sure, you got a leak, or is this
his roof? He had a lot of problems. There was a lot of issues with this house. Like I said, it was dilapidated. But once I saw that inside, I was like, I don't know what I can do. Like I'm in a situation that like I want to give this guy a free roof, or you know, do what I can to help him. And it just there was no way. And that was to me one of the experiences in my career that's like it's eye-opening how people live and how people go through their day-to-day life and like what resources they're given. And it's for me, I want to do whatever I can to help. And situations like that where you can't help, where there's not really a lot you can do, whether it's financial reasons or timing, it's just one of those things. It's like, man, if I could take a crystal ball and say, make one thing right in the world, you know, fix this situation, like that's what I would put that towards, because all the homeowners we meet, like they need help, you know, whether it's from us, you know, based on our service or somebody else, but they need true, honest help. And I just feel like it's something that we as a team here at Andy's, we just bring that to the table. And yeah, so that was a situation and experience that I will never forget.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, it was.
So we do our best to train you guys for as many normal situations as we can run into. But like, there's been many times like I've prayed with people that like somebody just died and they're like at the end of their rope, you know. Mm-hmm. There's other stuff like kind of like if you get elderly people and they're making a decision, like I've had 2 or 3 times that I can remember to where I told them, I was like, hey, like I can't sell you a roof. Like, do you have a daughter or a son that we can get on the phone or get them to come over here? Like, I'm not selling you a roof. Like, I just don't know if this is like, I would never take advantage of you. You know, like we need to get somebody else involved in this. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And that I feel like that is that's servant's heart, you know? Like I gotta give specific examples because like those are the kind of people that we hire. But if you don't already kind of got that, like we've turned down a lot of really good sales reps that could produce top line revenue, but they just didn't care about homeowners the way we want. And that's a big deal to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, going into someone's home is an opportunity for, you know, like not everybody gets to be invited into someone's home.
Yeah.
You know, and the fact that, you know, we work with all kinds of people. Whenever I meet with new homeowners, like that are young, they've never bought a house, like they've never experienced what it's like being a homeowner. I try to give them as much information that I have that as a homeowner.
Oh yeah.
So that they can at least have an idea of like, you know, if something goes wrong, maybe we do need to call a roofer or an electrician, or if something goes wrong, I'm a pretty good DIYer. I could probably take care of this. And so like all the different people that we meet, older, younger, in between, it's like they all deserve the same consistent service. And if we treat, you know, one group differently, then, you know, like you said, we're not really following our true morals and beliefs as the servant's heart. And also it's like you just get a bad reputation. Like it just sets people to say, don't call them. You don't want to work with them because of this situation with my mom or, you know, my son who just bought a house and that sort of thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, man, we built all of this on an amazing customer experience. So we're not perfect, but I mean, you've seen like there's been some crazy situations that we were able to come in and just like, I mean, we gave away roofs and we did different things. Like if you run into any more veterans, like that's something that Riyadh talks to you guys about is like, I'm looking for more veterans to give roofs away to. And then like Garrett had one the other day. It was in the west end of Louisville. Mm-hmm. And that one ended up not working out actually. But it was one of those situations like if I could, I would have given them a roof. But it was like a really complicated, they needed more than roofing. It was a lot.
Yeah.
You know,
Sometimes that's, we would like to be able to help everybody, and there's some stuff that's just, it's a little bit too big. And, but yeah, I think that what you've built, because I've been in the industry, since 2017. And, when I got in, it was, Andy's was not a name to be worried about. And now fast forward post COVID, and the whole world shut down, Andy's Roofing. And now it is what it is. And like you said, all the wrap trucks that we have and all the employees that we've hired, it's so crazy to see something that never existed when I first came around. Now it's kind of
you didn't get to compete against us.
Yeah, and I did for a little while, and I was trying my best not to talk anybody down, because that's just, again, not who I am. But like, yeah, when you're up against somebody, you have to find a flaw somewhere. And
it's dirty dog.
Honestly, man, it was hard to find a flaw, because of the way my outside perspective was the way you train people. Because if you train people a certain way to do the same thing every time, then you can't really go back, like as a competitor, go in and find flaws, because they're basically following the same steps. Yeah. Or if it's just, hey, Josh, or hey, Ethan, go out and sell a roof, I can sell that roof any way that I possibly could, morally or unethically. And, I still did my job. But, when you really face the full realm of like post-install, the waiting to be scheduled, installation, all that stuff combined, then, what you said at the table could turn into something that is a horrible experience.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're not perfect in that. We're still getting better. So the unique challenges that we have is because I feel like we've put the homeowner first. We've grown so fast. So the year before last, we were going to, so we did 5.2 million. Then the next year we were supposed to do 13.1 million. Like, it was ridiculous. And so towards the end of the year, I cut the legs out of the company. I was like, dude, I don't like this. I don't like it. We're becoming transactional because we were growing so fast that it was just like, dude, this is not good. This is not the Andy's experience. Like, we were selling, but it was like, these sales reps don't care. So like, I fired a bunch of people, made people leave. Like, it was crazy, dude. So we went down to 2 sales reps at the beginning of 2024, and we rebuilt it. So we called it Build Back Better. That was
Riyadh says that all the time.
Yeah, build back
better year.
Yeah. So this year was just be the best. And we went into this year fully staffed, sales reps, everything. Everybody was trained. Like, and now we're dealing with the repercussions of that. You get a little hailstorm, and then it's like, oh my goodness, we're slammed.
The floodgates opened.
Yeah, it's a good problem. So now we're doing what we did. I mean, we're going to double again this year what we did last year. So
it's insane. I'm just looking forward to the new office being built too. That's just going to give us so much more exposure, especially right there next to that school.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's going to have to know. I mean, the billboard coming off the expressway helps, but like, now everybody's going to have to see our office, our trucks right there in the middle of Sellersburg.
Yeah, man. No, like, this is, it's the culmination of everything that I built at Andy's Roofing, where it's like, we finally have a place to put everybody back together. We're all in the same place and we're all on the same page. But to me, it's like the ceiling and the next floor is like, dude, when we get in there, we're going to explode.
What's
like,
the next floor?
We're going to jump. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be better than our wildest dreams, And as long as we don't lose the 100% customer service and 100% quality, like, we'll take this thing to the moon.
Yeah. Well, I'll say that the way you hire, the way Kevin hires, the way that, Riyadh, like, finding out the right people to bring in, like, that is what makes this place we are able to be the best. You deserve the best. And it's all about the people that we bring in. So, I'm grateful to be a part of this, and I know it just got started. I've been in the industry for a long time, and like, this is the first time I felt like I've been in this role as a project consultant, and so comfortable, like, in my own skin, in my ability to call the production team and say, hey, based on my experience, is this something that we can do? Is this something that you're okay with? And getting that support from Daniel and saying, yeah, man, if you think that that's what we can do, and I'm looking at it with you and I agree. And it's just, the freedom is there, but also just, again, the support. And it's, dude, like, I'm just excited to see what, the future looks like, man.
It's gonna. I got some wild plans. It's gonna be a wild ride.
I like the surprises, man. Keep them as a surprise because I don't do good keeping secrets and holding surprises. So,
oh man, I got all kinds of.
If you told me something, it'll get leaked so quick.
I'm planning some stuff out. It's gonna be next level, dude. Like this new building is it's gonna be so good for our culture, for everything. Like, dude, imagine we're doing trunk or treats where people drive in and we have candy for them, and then like I want to do bouncy houses, and then like we do cookouts in the warehouse. We'll have grills and people come. Then we have basketball tournament. I mean, just all kinds of stuff we can do.
Yeah, that sounds fun. And like when you go and you work at a job, it's usually clock in, clock out. Like you see the same people in the office, but that sounds like a fun time.
Yeah, man.
I'm stoked. Just go ahead and get that building built right now, man.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Tell those guys the weather's nice, man. It needs to be done.
Yeah.
Give them a deadline.
All right. Well, Josh, I appreciate you coming on the podcast, dude. It was fun talking to you, and we'll do some more of these with some more of the guys. But this is exciting.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
All right.